guys, welcome to I know this is a lot later than normal, but at least I'm still doing it. Okay, so I don't know where we left off from, so I'll just do the last line on this bit and then we'll continue it. Because this chapter looks very short. Right, I think it's not good. So we'll go from there. I am very serious about Penny. I adore her, and Daisy does too. I'm not keeping it a secret from I'm not keeping it a secret from Daisy because I don't think it will last. I just don't want to upset her. Then why do it all? You promised me and her that you won't be getting involved with anyone ever again. That was a vast statement, and you know that. You can't expect me not to have a relationship ever again because I made one terrible mistake with Emily. I can expect you not to get involved with the type of person who lets you shag them across the table in the middle of the day. Penny let out a bark of laughter, and Henry looked down at her in confusion. I'm sorry, but I'm not worthy enough for him because we're about to have sex. I'm sorry, but I'm not worthy enough for him because we're about to have sex on the kitchen table in my own home. That's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. You have no idea what kind of relationship me and Henry have. I don't care about what kind of relationship you and my brother have. I care about Daisy and how this will affect her. I care about her too, Penny said indignantly. If Henry had thought that Penny was going to be shy when she met Anna for the first time, he had been mistaken. He tried to suppress a smile. He liked this fireside to her. He hadn't seen it very often, but she certainly knew how to stand up for herself. Bullshit! You're clearly using her to get to Henry. She adores you. You're all she's spoken about for the past week. And when all this comes to an end, which it doubtfully will, you would drop her like a hot potato. Do you have any kind of idea how much that would hurt her? I have no intention of ever doing that to her, anything to hurt Daisy. I really like her, and if this thing between me and Henry comes to an end, that absolutely won't affect my relationship with her. If Henry moves out, and never wants to speak to me again, she can still come up every day and practice her ice skating. I like working with her. She's brilliant and funny, and I thought that long before I was involved with Henry, I've already offered her a job. I have way too many craving jobs for me to do alone, and she shows a real talent for this kind of thing. What sort of person befriends a 16-year-old girl? Penny went very still next to him. What are you suggesting? Some kind of pervert? Henry quickly paddled. No, I didn't mean that. I just mean that's a bit weird. Why is it weird? Henry said angrily. Well, you've made a snap judgment based on the fact that you saw me and Henry about to have sex, and you've made a snap judgment based on the fact that you saw me and Henry about to have, and you've come into my house and accused me of the most disturbing things. How dare you? You don't even know me. Now I suggest you get out of my house now because you're simply not welcome here anymore. Hey, Licky, darling, you don't have a leg to stand on there. You can't take which visitors Henry has in his house. Penny's right, Henry said. I will never presume you to tell her how to live in... Penny's right, Henry said. I will never presume to tell you how to live your life. I don't expect you to come here and try to tell me how to live mine. Get out and don't come back here unless you're ready to apologize to Penny. Anna stared at him in shock for a moment before she turned and grabbed her bag and stormed out. I'm so sorry, Penny said after she'd gone. What? No, you have nothing to be sorry for. She's overprotective Daisy. We both are. And she's seen how it gone with Daisy quite a few times before. But I apologize for her issues and her bloody judgment attitude. Penny sighed. I suck at first impressions. I don't know about that. You've pretty much captured me from the moment you opened that door with that huge, enduring smile on your face. She smiled. Come on, why don't you bake a cake? That'll make you feel better, and I can help. I thought you wanted on my table. We can do that too. She laughed, and she walked off besides towards her kitchen. He sighed with relief as he watched her go. She hadn't seemed bothered by Anna's saying it wouldn't last between them. He just hoped with all his heart that she knew how much she meant to him. Oh, and after this, I'm going to have to do another video because I got a new book from the library and we can definitely read this one with the channel. It's called After Tomorrow. So I'm going to be reading to the page that I got to reading where my bookmark is. And that one as well. She's late, Henry said, looking at his watch for the 17th time in the last 10 minutes. Penny smiled with love for him and how protective he was of Daisy as he wore a hole in the kitchen floor with all his pasting. She's not late. School finished at 3:30. Can't be more than an hour walk from there. Firstly, she's probably talking to all the new friends she's made and making plans to meet up with them over the holidays. Secondly, it might take you half an hour to walk from town to our house, but it takes us less than mortals a good 54 minutes or more. We haven't all got the freaky song girls like you. It's 4:20. I hardly think we need to call out the search and rescue just yet. It's getting dark, she found with confusion. Why are you worried? It's not about her being out on her own. She's done that tons of times before. He sighed and sat down at the table. I just want to know that she's got on okay today. What if she hated it? What if the kids were mean to her? I want this to move to work for her. I don't want her to get her decision to move here. She's one of the most probably friendliest girls I've known. I know. The other kids will love her. How can they not? Plus, a hero. Mr. Catwick is her farm teacher. She's going to be over the moon about that for at least the next 6 months. You're right. I know there's just a lot of riding on loving her new school. I want her to be happy here. She is, and she will be. Stop fluttering. Henry nodded and looked at his watch again. The timer went off on the oven and Henry jumped. Penny looked at her shook her head fondly as she went over to the oven and poured out the chicken and peppermint needed to put them. She gave it a good stir, covered it with fire and put it back in the oven, setting the temperature well, just to keep it warm. It hadn't been discussed that they would have dinner together, but that seemed to be the norm now. They had become domesticated, and Penny loved it. But the doubt that was in her head, the doubt that had been going away her since she'd seen Anne earlier that day, kept telling her not to get too involved too quickly because it would hurt all the more if it came to an end. With Daisy was miserable at school, Penny had known that something wasn't right at Henry's work after he'd come home in a terrible state, and she overheard him telling Daisy that he didn't know if he would have a job after Christmas, and he might not be able to stay in Wycliffe Bay. What if they left? He certainly wouldn't just stay for her. He hadn't known her enough for that. Where would that lead them? She turned around and watched him as he tried to read the paper and suddenly looked at his watch. The door every few minutes. He wanted it to work too. She passed Henry a block of cheese and grade this. It will keep you busy for a few minutes, and when she comes, and don't pounce on her, just ask her, but not as if it's a matter of life and death. Henry nodded similarly. Almost right on the cue, Daisy strode back for the door as if it was the most natural thing in the world to pitch in Penny's kitchen after a day at school. Penny loved this East Daisy had around her. She was smiling blondly, something that Penny saw Henry's notice straight away. He turned his attention to the cheese, sighing quietly with relief. "Hey, honey, did you have a good day?" Henry said, taking extra care not to let any worry or panic into his eyes. "I had the best day ever. Everyone was so nice. I made friends with 2 girls, Rebecca and Maisie, and we're going to meet up between Christmas and New Year. I missed the Catwet. It's the coolest man I've ever met, and I didn't realize Wycliffe Bay Senior School and Wycliffe Bay College were on the same campus." Penny put the frosted mix on the table with Janice and watched Daisy get very excited about the college, which seemed an odd thing to wander so much excitement. And he sat down next to Daisy. "I'm so pleased you had a good day." "I did," Daisy said, looking like she was about to burst from all the excitement of it all. Henry was watching her with confusion too. Daisy helped her to a large portion of the chicken and suddenly leaned over and whispered in Penny's ear. "I saw Josh again." Penny tried and failed to suppress a smile. "What?" Henry asked. "Nothing," Daisy said at the same time as Penny. Henry scored as he looked between them. Then he leant over again to whisper some more. "He asked me to the ball." The reason for the gay excitement had been explained," Penny whispered in her ear. "That's so cool. How exciting." "I know," Daisy whispered back. "I think I love him." Oh, Lord, how was she supposed to explain this one to Henry? Gosh. "What?" Henry said again, trying not to smile as he scored the secrets. "Nothing," Daisy giggled. "We'll go shopping for a dress then," Penny whispered. "Sunday?" Daisy nodded gleefully. Penny took into her own paddle and glanced across Henry, who was pretending not to glare across the table. That question might turn out to be a real one. Once he found out that his daughter was going out with the tattooed Seven had been mistaken for a bigger a few days before. Josh was a sensitive, sweet boy, but Penny doubted Henry would see it like that. She would have to break it to him gently when he was in a good mood. And it's about like my phone's literally going to die soon, but I don't give a shit. No, I don't care. out for a bit. I won't be long. I'm just popping up to Rebecca's house. Daisy skidded up from the kitchen table. Penny saw that she'd been suspicious for most of the dinner. Henry frowned as he looked at the darkening strokes outside. It's nearly dark out and we're going to go tree shopping. We will go. I'll only be half an hour. Rebecca only lives up the hill. Daisy gave a clue and Penny frowned. There was no house up the hill. Lica cottage was the last house on the very outskirts of Wycliffe Bay. The next house was a good half an hour drive away with the edge of Apple Hill. Daisy was lying. She could see it in her eyes. It seemed like Daisy had secrets of her own. Henry looked at her suspiciously too. Before Henry could possess any further, Daisy threw her coat on and with a cheery smile she raced out the door. She's up to something, Henry said as the door almost slammed back into its frame. Maybe she's just gone off to buy your Christmas present. Penny suggested that it wasn't at all. Henry squatted and moved around the table towards her. Talking of that, I need to go and finish up the tree decoration. Will you be okay for half an hour? Penny nodded and he kissed her briefly before disappearing out the back door. Without thinking her mind, she opened the front door and stepped onto the drive. At the bottom of the drive, the observing hut, which was used by bird watchers to keep an eye on the nesting cliff-deer birds, especially in the spring and summer months. It was also the place where some teenage girls of the town used to hang out, especially teenage couples. She'd use it herself in her younger youth to meet up with one or two boys. They'd sit, talk, and listen to music. For her, nothing further than a few kisses had happened in that hut, but with a gas fire, gas lamps, a soft bench to lie on it'd been the place where several of her peers had lost their virginity. It was also set against the pale twilight sky as she watched. Pale twilight sky, and as she watched, flickering lights suddenly came on inside. You have to figure out what happens tomorrow in this book. Bye guys! Until next video, which is right